recording now, and I see everybody is streaming in. Good morning, Di, in the chat box. Hello, Barbara, in the chat box. Please, I encourage everybody else to introduce yourself, say hello. Let me know if you can hear me and you can see me. Throughout my presentation, our support teams are going to be in the chat box. Please post your questions about anything that you see on screen. We will have a Q&A session, but if there is a question directly pertaining to a slide on my screen that our support team can answer in the chat, that is how they will manage that. So this morning we are joining together to discuss how to apply for donated Microsoft Cloud software through TechSoup Zambia. And we have an amazing partner in the room. It's the Zambian Governance Foundation. So good morning to all of you from that organization. Thank you very much for partnering with us today on this session. And a little bit later on in the presentation, they will also be speaking to everybody to detail how they can provide support to your nonprofit in Zambia. And I will be detailing a little bit more about our partnership throughout the presentation. The reason why we are hosting this event is because we do have some good news from Microsoft, and we wanted to take this opportunity to go through everything that's available to eligible nonprofits in Zambia, and also detail who we are, how we fit into the picture, and most importantly, how we can support your nonprofit with either software adoption or purchasing, or accessing donated or discounted tech solutions. So TechSoup is a global nonprofit. They're based in San Francisco, and we as Pambano Tech, we are a nonprofit based in South Africa, and we administer the TechSoup Zambia program. So we are responsible for making sure that all activities for TechSoup Zambia are taken care of in the country, and we are here to assist you with anything that's available on our TechSoup Zambia catalog. Today, we're just going to be talking about Microsoft 365 and some Microsoft on-premise software options. And the reason why is because I'm sure many of you have seen, due to the pandemic, we've all had to move into a new kind of working environment. Some of us are working remotely, 100%. Some of us are working in offices or in a hybrid setup where not all of us are in an office in our usual technological setup. Some of us are using tablets, mobile phones, and other devices to connect with each other due to the pandemic. And today I wanted to share with everybody what is available from the Microsoft Cloud for nonprofits, more specifically Microsoft 365. Now, Microsoft 365 is the cloud bundle from Microsoft, which will afford you your most essential apps that you use on a daily basis. So you'll get your Office apps, which include Word, PowerPoint, Excel, Outlook. You'll also get Teams. For those of you that have never used Teams or never joined a Teams meeting, it is a video conferencing tool from Microsoft, and it is a collaborative tool to allow you to work with your boards, your volunteers, and your staff members on documents in a real-time situation. And then also the M365 or the Microsoft 365 bundle includes enterprise level security, which is critically important for us as nonprofits because we deal with a lot of sensitive information, and particularly from our donor perspective and our beneficiary perspective, we need to make sure that we've got really good security in place. Now, the good news is that Microsoft have afforded a donation to eligible nonprofits whereby they can apply for 10 free business premium seats. You can also call them licenses. Microsoft calls them seats or users, and you'll be hearing me talk you through what that is, what it entails, and how your organization can access that software for free. So let's start off with, what does the bundle include? So if you apply, if your organization is eligible and you apply for the 10 free M365 business premium seats, so that's to cover 10 users in your organization, each user will receive all Office applications available to download. So that will be your Word, your PowerPoint, your Outlook, and all your Office apps that you would use on a daily basis. You would be able to access that from the cloud and download it onto your devices and use on a continuous basis. The bundle also includes Teams, as I mentioned, and the beauty about the cloud is that one seat, so one user, can use their email address to access this entire bundle on 5 devices. So what that means is, for me as Sam, my email is sam@pombano.org.za. I have an M365 Business Premium seat allocated to my email address, and I can use it on my smartphone. I can use it on my laptop that I'm streaming to you all from now. And if I had a tablet or another device, I could also use my email address with all of this functionality loaded on. So that's a really critical component if you do have multiple staff members working in multiple different fields. Think maybe about social workers, perhaps, that might need to be out in the community and they might need to use some of their own devices to capture information. You can now give them access to the full Business Premium package, which gives them all of the necessary work apps that you would use if they were in the office with you. It also includes advanced security, Microsoft Defender, and conditional access, which, as I mentioned, is critically important for us as nonprofits. It also includes encryption for sensitive data, and each user gets 1 terabyte of cloud storage for collaboration. So if you've heard maybe of OneDrive or SharePoint, it's similar to Dropbox or Box.org or Google Drive. For those of you that have applied for Google Workspace or Google for Nonprofits and you've received Google Drive space, you would note that you only get 30 gigs on their plan. With this plan from Microsoft, you can get, and each user in your organization can get 1 terabyte of cloud storage. And then, of course, Microsoft won't just stop there with regards to trying to assist nonprofits. They've said, if you have more than 10 users, so you can get the first 10 for free, but if you have more after that, they will then allow you to add on additional users at a discounted rate per month on their subscriptions. So you won't need to pay retail prices for the software. You can actually go directly through them in order to get the nonprofit unique pricing. Before we go into how to do the application, I wanted to talk through a little bit with regards to what you might currently have, what might need to happen to do the application, and also maybe your organization is not yet ready to go to the cloud. Maybe you have some internet troubles, maybe you don't have enough devices, or maybe your operating system, for example, is not fully upgraded. I wanted to share that we as TechSoup, we can also assist you with that. Through our TechSoup Zambia catalog, which we'll share the links on much later on during the presentation, you are able to browse through our Microsoft donor on our catalog, and you can still access on-premise software. That's software that you purchase as a once-off, you install it on your device, and it remains on your device. And obviously, you need to then upgrade it accordingly every time a new version comes out in the future years. We still have on-premise solutions available for your nonprofit to use. For example, Windows 10 is on this presentation. We're still busy ironing out Windows 11 as the new upgrade available to nonprofits, but you can still upgrade your operating system from an on-premise perspective if you are only wanting to stay on-prem. If you have any devices in your organization that need to be upgraded first in order to apply for the Microsoft Cloud software, you can come chat to us and we can get you a heavily discounted option available from Microsoft to prepare your IT and your devices to now port onto the cloud full time. The beauty of our cloud, though, is if you go onto the Microsoft 365 Cloud software package, you will never have to purchase a Windows operating system again, because cloud will naturally update your Windows operating systems on a continuous basis, because it is cloud and it's linked directly to the Microsoft systems. If you opt for the on-premise option, you would have to continuously purchase that software from an on-premise perspective in order to upgrade with the new versions that Microsoft releases. Of course, I have to mention our Office applications again, because they are the most popular. Many of you are using Office Standard, which is your package, which is Word, Excel, Outlook, and PowerPoint. With cloud, with Microsoft 365, you still get access to that on the Business Premium package, which is the one that we're talking about today, which you can apply for 10 free seats. You can download those applications directly onto your devices, and you never have to purchase them again in the future, as if you were purchasing an on-prem package from our catalog or from Microsoft directly. Of course, the online storage, I wanted to make another note about this, because 1 terabyte of OneDrive Storage is an amazing saving, especially if your organization is doing regular backups, which I do encourage you to do, especially if you are out in the field and you have to create videos, if you have to take photos, anything that you need to do to house all of the information that your organization has. If you need to archive it, if you need to share documents with other members that are in different locations, your OneDrive is a very robust tool, and it's giving each person 1 terabyte of storage, which we as Bombano haven't even met that storage, and we do a lot with regards to our storage. If you were to stay with on-prem or on-premise, there is no other option available at this rate, with the 1 terabyte of storage available for you to access at a donation or at a heavy discount. Your Microsoft Teams is a critical component at the moment for many nonprofits. We are currently using Zoom for this call, but we could have set it up on Teams if that was the way that we wanted to go, and it would give you the same functionality. Added to that, Microsoft Teams also allows you to collaborate with your various staff members, and there are other ways that you can add add-ons to Microsoft Teams to allow your volunteers and your board members to maybe host sort of AGMs, board meetings. If you need to do resolutions or anything like that, there are ways that your Microsoft Teams can be that video calling and virtual workspace solution for you. And through M365, you get access to it for free. So if you have not yet seen TechSoup Zambia, this is just a quick screenshot from the homepage. You'll see that on this presentation, I have also listed, and I see I've made a typo here, excuse me. It's not TechSoup Zimbabwe, it's TechSoup Zambia. I have put the link for you to go onto the TechSoup Zambia website. We do need to talk through how you can register your nonprofit on this particular portal. It is a 100% free of charge registration, although it is a 3-part registration. If you are brand new to the program and you want to register your nonprofit, the first thing that you need to do is register yourself in your personal capacity. So you would register Sam's account, and that's so that we can send you information about the next steps, and we can validate and verify your email address. Thereafter, we then request that you register your nonprofit organization. So for that, we might need to update your nonprofit registration documents that's available in the Zambia region. We might need to ask you what kind of activities your nonprofit participates in, what is your budgets, and all those kind of things, so that once that free registration is completed and we have validated your organization, we can match you up with every eligible donor on our catalog that you can access direct donations from in the form of software. So if you go over onto TechSoup Zambia catalog, which is on our top menu on the screenshot, you can browse all the software solutions available to you, and you can also find more information about the Microsoft specific application that I'm talking about today. Now, if you are on TechSoup Zambia and we've validated you and we've worked with you in the past and you want to apply for the M365 business package, we are here to assist you free of charge with that. We do not charge for any consultations. We do not charge to talk you through the application process. And if you are applying for the free package from Microsoft, there's no additional charges for that. But there are a couple of ways that we can partner with you as Bombano to help you access this software donation. The first is if you want to apply directly on the Microsoft nonprofit website, you are welcome to go directly to them, and you can call us and you can ask us to help you through that application process. Bear in mind that once you're on the Microsoft nonprofit website, you need to know which package you want to go for and if there are any other add-ons that you might want to add. So if you can do that all on your own without consulting with us, that is available for you to do free of charge. The second option is if you need to still talk to us about, perhaps you've got 3 board members that might need just Word, and you've got 10 other staff members that need all of the Microsoft offerings. And so we can do a free cloud consultation with you. I see my colleague Spakamiso is on the call, who often has those calls with many nonprofits, and he can talk you through which subscription is the most suited to your particular organization, how many packages or subscriptions should you apply for, and he can also talk you through the application process as well. So we do offer a free cloud consultation with our team. In order to book that, we do have a specialized link. And I'm hoping, Di, if you could at any point now just pop in our CSP link in the chat for everybody. We do have a dedicated consultation form that comes through to our support team, and we then set up according to our workflow systems what time of day to call you and what time of day to send you an email and just set up that cloud consultation. You can also email us for guidance. We will also share that later on as to how to connect with our entire support team. And if it's just that you need to send us a mail and say, please, can you send me more info? Please, can you talk me through what the process is? We do not charge you for that, so you can email us as well. And then, of course, you can call us. If you'd like to set up a virtual call like this, one-on-one, we can get that onto our calendars and our diaries. Or if you want to phone us telephonically, just bear in mind, we as Phambano, we are based in South Africa. I will share our South African landline number with everybody shortly, but you can also request that we call you back as well. So we have so many options available to suit your needs, because our goal as Phambano, as a nonprofit, is to support you as a nonprofit with your journey, and we provide these services free of charge to your organization. Now, there are a couple of things that you need to take note of if you are going to be applying for the M365 packages. The first thing is that there are eligibility guidelines. We will share this link out with the event wrap-up, and you can go through and you can read it. Our team can also consult with you during the cloud consultation what these eligibility guidelines are, but I do encourage you to read through them first before wanting to apply, because some types of organizations are not eligible and some are. So before doing the application and possibly getting some disappointment, it's advisable that you do go through what are the eligibility requirements, how can you use the software, how can't you, and so on. And this is very similar to any other sort of funding that you might go and request. So Microsoft is a donor, they are gifting you a donation of software, and they would have certain eligibility guidelines as any other donor might. So it's very important that you go through that as well. If you're wanting a cloud consultation with us, I please ask that you do check that you are sending us your correct contact information. Sometimes there have been spelling errors by an email address or maybe an incorrect telephone number. We don't want you to think that we're not reaching out to you. We don't want you to think that we're ignoring you. It might just be that maybe your email address or your telephone number is incorrect, and then we struggle to contact you. So please make sure you do send us clear and correct contact information, and Swakamiso will contact you promptly when he gets your consultation ticket. Also, you must take note of the time frame for the application process and then the delivery of the software. If you had to put an application in today, you might not get the software within the next week, because there are multiple things happening behind the scenes. One of them, David is going to talk about shortly. One of them is migration, email migration, and getting your entire existing system set up. I do believe David or the Zambian Governance Foundation are offering a service like that, which we'll hear about just now. But there are multiple different things behind the scenes that you do need to prepare, and you do need to take consideration of, in terms of once you've received the software from Microsoft, how do you now implement it? So it's very important to note that this is not the same as if you place an order on our Zambia catalog and you get the software as soon as you've made payment. This is a little bit of a different process, and sometimes the application process, you might complete it in 10 minutes, but it might take Microsoft 72 hours to actually confirm that application and give the go-ahead that you can access that donation. So just keep in mind, it's not an immediate thing, and there is a bit of a time process, which we can also talk you through that as well. Next up is, what do you do after you receive the software? So we as TechSoup, and it's not just TechSoup Zambia or Southern Africa, it is TechSoup Global. We are very committed to providing nonprofits with technology solutions and capacity building. One of the core things that we recognized when this particular donation program was launched was that a lot of nonprofits, they are happy to accept the team's donation, for example, or the 1 terabyte of storage, but they actually don't know how to use it and how to implement it. And sometimes you might have members in your organization that might not be willing to adopt to a new style of technology, or they might need to be taught how to use the apps. And because of that, we have partnered with Microsoft on a global level. Microsoft has launched the Microsoft Digital Skills Center. The regional hub is based in our TechSoup Africa regional hub, which is in Kenya, and they have an online portfolio available for you to do on demand and at your own pace TechSoup courses that are written with TechSoup experts like us and Microsoft experts to help you go through online learning for the different solutions that they're making available. So for example, there is an online course for teams for nonprofits. There's quite a couple of different modules in it. And there's also example on the screen is mastering the basics of Microsoft Excel. So if you have anybody on your team that might be using Excel to run budgets and needs to do formulas and submit, to international donors, and you need to provide them with secure, number one, and expert-led training directly from Microsoft and from TechSoup, this is the place to go to. Many of these courses are at a discounted rate. And the beauty about them is once you have successfully completed the course online, you receive a certification for it as well, which you can then upload with your annual reports or even put it onto LinkedIn per se, if that's what you wanted to do. Added to that, we have TechSoup Connect Southern Africa, because our commitment is to host sessions just like this, whereby we want to bring as many nonprofits in the region together, and we want to provide free training in the virtual format. So many of you joined our TechSoup Connect chapter to register for this event. Thank you very much for doing that. The good news is that whenever we release a brand new virtual event, for example, online fundraising in Zambia, how to use social media. Another example could be how to build a website for your nonprofits. We use TechSoup Connect Southern Africa to host free to attend, and they always will be free to attend virtual sessions. And the beauty about our platform as well is if you missed any of our previous events and you go back onto TechSoup Southern Africa chapter, you can actually see the replays of every single event that we've hosted on the platform since we started doing it the beginning of this year. It is a free registration, and I just have to say again, all of our TechSoup Connect Southern Africa events are free of charge. We will never charge you to attend, and we have really good topics on TechSoup Connect Southern Africa. So keep an eye on that, because often I might do a presentation about how to use Teams or when to or how to use PowerPoint to create, PowerPoint presentations that collect funding. Loads of different types of topics available, and I do encourage you to engage with us on that platform as well. So before I request David to come on to screen with me to chat for a little bit, I just wanted to share who we are in the form of contact details. We are TechSoup in Southern Africa as our program. We administer the TechSoup program in 11 countries across Africa, predominantly in the Southern Africa region. So if you see us on social media, we house everything in one name, which is TechSoup in Southern Africa, and TechSoup Zambia would fall under that banner. We also have multiple websites in the region. So if you are obviously streaming in for Zambia, but you might have a nonprofit colleague in Botswana, Malawi, Mozambique, any of the countries that we operate in that you want to share the TechSoup program with, you can go on to meet.techsoup.org and you can find the country in the drop down, and it'll take you directly through to the catalog to access donated or discounted software. Our landline is on the screen, and my colleague Spakaniso is usually the one that answers that. So Spark, please say hello to everybody in the chat so they know that it's you. And then we do have a support email address, which most of us as the support team in the chat box receives, and that's techsoup@pambana.org.za. Just lastly, if you see the name Pambana Technology Development Center, that is us. It's our nonprofit. We administer the TechSoup program as one of our nonprofit programs, but we are a nonprofit just like you. We use the same technology that we are talking to you about today. And most importantly, we do understand a lot of the challenges that your nonprofit might be going through with regards to tech. And that's why at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing. And I am going to ask David just to unmute and say hi so that I can get him prepped to share his screen. Hi, David.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Okay. You should be able to share your screen now. And there was a good sort of entrance into, we as Pambano, we are committed to providing nonprofits with support. And I'm so glad that we can partner on this session this morning to hear more about what you and the Zambian Governance Foundation are offering nonprofits in the region, particularly with regards to migration and IT support. So whenever you're ready to share your screen, over to you.
Okay.
And while you're doing that, I see the chat box is very busy, and I'll be in the chat while you are busy with this.
Is everyone able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. We can see your presentation, not in full screen, but the actual PowerPoint app.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is David Siame with Zambian Governance Foundation. So we are in partnership with TechSoup. And these are the services that we offer. So after you have completed your registration and you've read all the eligibility rules and guidelines, and after your application has been approved, we at Zambian Governance Foundation offer these services that you are able to see here on the screen. So if you might need any assistance with the registration process, we are also available to do that. So, and the other thing that we do is that we support local NGOs during the migration. So when you're migrating from any other email provider and you're shifting to Microsoft 365, we will do the technical bit of it and helping you migrate from your current email provider to the free Microsoft 365, which offers 10 free premium licenses, which we can utilize, and about 30 business licenses. So we also offer support in terms of customization for document management system. This is SharePoint, of course. And we also offer general ICT support. If you have any problem with your emails or adding emails, any technical challenges, setting them up, we do that as well. So if you need any help on any of these services, on the Zambian Governance Foundation will be ready to offer you that technical support that you need. So we also offer other services here at Zambian Governance Foundation. We offer domain registration. If you don't have a domain, we can do that for you. We also provide website hosting, website development and design, website maintenance and management, and we also offer trainings on various topics that you might need. So how do you get in touch with us? So you can get in touch with us through the numbers that you see on the screen and the emails below. So we are located at 9 Mansansa Close of Wijimfumu Road, Lusaka, Zambia in Rhodes Park. If you have any questions for me, please include them in the chat. Sorry, my presentation was long, so that's what we are offering.
Brilliant, David. So actually, I do want to chat with you just a little bit quickly. I'm very interested to hear from your perspective. Have there been any major challenges in Zambia that nonprofits on the call have been facing with regards to utilizing this shift now during the pandemic to start going more hybrid? Have you noticed any major challenges that we can sort of unpack during this call, see if we can provide solutions, but also maybe just see if we can let other nonprofits know that it's okay. We possibly might have the same challenges and how we can fix it for them.
Yes, so the major challenges that most nonprofits face is that the lack of utilization for these free platforms like this one that you're currently offering. And with the pandemic, it's just made the emphasis of using technology even more because software packages are quite expensive,
Mm-hmm.
and you find that nonprofits don't have the budget to pay for these services, and Microsoft is offering these free services, and a lot of people are not really aware of it. I feel like maybe a lot of sensitization and awareness would go a long way in helping local NGOs utilize this platform.
Brilliant. So I see in the chat there is a question from Frederick, which I see Barbara is answering, but I do want to bring the question up. And so, David, the question is about website design and hosting. And I think this is probably a good time to mention that if a nonprofit does not have a domain, they are going to struggle with doing the application for either Google Workspace or for Microsoft 365. And so, can you tell me a little bit more about if a nonprofit doesn't have that domain, and they want to set up, let's say, info@pombana.org.za and sam@pombana.org.za. Do you walk them through that entire step, and do you have that full product offering available for them to help them with that?
Oh, yes, we do. So what happens is that a domain is like your digital footprint. Without a domain, you can't register for anything. So what we do is that we'll walk you through into registering for a domain. And once that step is done, you provide you with website hosting. And also, if you need any assistance, on the Zambian bit in registering for the free software, we also go ahead and do that for them as well, so that we just offer that guidance.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing we've realized that not all NGOs here in Zambia have an in-house IT or ICT department.
Yeah.
So it becomes a big challenge for them to be conversant with any issues when it comes to ICTs. So we would take on that responsibility in helping them get a domain to their registration and also assist them in the registration process for Microsoft 365.
Fantastic, and thank you for that, David, because that's quite a critical component with regards to going to cloud software. And tell me, have you? Because we get it in South Africa so much. Many nonprofits are scared of the cloud in a way where maybe it's because they don't quite know with regards to security, or maybe it's because they are possibly overwhelmed by so many apps and how to use them, or it could just be that maybe they don't have the correct devices, and so they think, well, we're going to have to go and buy a whole bunch of new laptops. Are you seeing those similar kind of questions or fears coming up in Zambia? And I ask this because if there's a way that we can host more sessions where we can explain how the cloud security works, how everything is encrypted and everything is safe, how to not feel overwhelmed with so many apps, and how to streamline, do you think for the Zambian market that would be something that we could partner on to do in the future?
Oh, yes, definitely. So one thing is that a lot of people are very hesitant when it comes to the cloud because they don't understand the security measures that have been put behind the cloud. And they always think if you put your information on the cloud and it's just free for anyone to access without any measurements put in place. So I feel like it's more of a sensitization and working most of talking through with most of the organizations and explaining to them to show how secure their platform is.
Mm-hmm.
Once you have those sessions with most NGOs, I feel like they'll buy more into it.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
if they just get the clarity on how free it is, you don't really need to change your laptops or buy new equipment. As long as you've got you use the same laptops same equipment. You don't need to upgrade to anything unless if you want to. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for that, David. And I do hope I'm pronouncing this name correctly. Prakash. Apologies if I have not pronounced that correctly, but I see that you have brought up Microsoft Azure, and thank you for that. And noticing in the comments, I just wanted to clarify your comment. So yes, Microsoft does have Azure, which we have just recently done a boot camp of. So if you'd like the recording of it, it is a 5-hour virtual boot camp, so it's quite a long one to watch. But we partnered up with Microsoft South Africa and a South African Microsoft Azure MVP. And what we did during that session was explain that nonprofits can apply for $3,500 US coupon to use the Azure products to create apps, web hosting, and all those kind of things. Just an important note is that if you do not have an IT department, or if you do not have an IT service provider that you are contracting, or for example, if you're not in partnership with the Zambian Governance Foundation, even though that Azure offer is there, you won't be able to use it because it's quite a technically involved process to be able to set it up. But I just wanted to clarify that it's not going to cost your organization $3,500 US. It's a credit that Microsoft will give eligible nonprofits to utilize the Azure product. And the credits are obviously on the Azure platform. So I'm happy to share that up with whomever would like some more information about it. As I said, we do have, quite a big boot camp session, which we have got the recording of. We are busy preparing the event wrap up. That event took place last week, Friday, on TechSoup Connect. So there are loads of pieces of information that we've got available to everybody. And I think that's the important thing about this partnership and this call today, is that if you need to contact Bombana Tech to get donated or discounted software, we are here to help you with that. If you need to contact the Zambian Governance Foundation first, you've met David now, you've heard from him, contact him and maybe do a little bit of your digital transformation journey with them. And if he needs to then help you on TechSoup Zambia, he can do that as well, because TechSoup Zambia is the only website in Zambia that affords eligible nonprofits access to the donor catalog at that discount or at that donation. So we are both here to help everybody. When it comes back to Microsoft 365 and Microsoft Cloud for nonprofits, there are so many add-ons, so many things that you can do. That's why we wanted to start this partnership series with this topic, to say, this is what's available for free, this is what it includes, and this is how we can help you. After that, if you need, for example, courses, training, websites, you name it, at least you've got 2 people on the call that you can direct your questions to, and we can help, because the goal for both of us, and David, I'm hearing it a lot through what you're saying, and there's good synergy here between our 2 organizations, because I think the goal for both of us is to make sure that we can hold the hands of nonprofits to get them digitally transformed, because ultimately technology can help you achieve a greater social impact. And we don't want nonprofits spending money on software from a retailer when you can actually probably access it at a heavily discounted rate and use that saving in your other programs, for the things that really matter. You shouldn't be spending a lot of money on your tech and on your software. Added to that, we do want to pair you up with experts. So whether it's the Microsoft team, the TechSoup team, the Zambian Governance Foundation team, it's important that we are there to help you know who to contact, when to contact them, so that you get the best possible service and the best possible options. So let me just check the chat box before I go on to my next screen. And thank you, David. I see that you're also sharing your contact details. People wanting prices. Yes, we do need different consultations for that. There are obviously different pricing structures, which I'm sure David can explain in the consultation. Agree with David, a lot of awareness is needed on this capacity development. We are here. TechSoup Connect is here. All we need from everybody on the call, and you can use the chat box now, or you can email us, send us your topic ideas. If you've identified that Zambia nonprofits might need social media marketing training, tell us and let's get that done. If you might want to learn more about Adobe, let's see if we can get an Adobe speaker. Any person or any tech donor partner on the Zambia catalog that you feel we should do capacity development with in Zambia, please come and reach out to us, because we speak to them every single day, and we can host these kind of events and these conversations because, and this is where I'd like to bring Arnold onto screen, if he is available and on the call. Just so you can all say hello to Arnold quickly, because I know you all know Arnold. We were in Zambia, Arnold, when? 3 years ago? 2 years, 4 years ago?
I think 2018 or 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, we are. I wanted him on screen to say that we miss everybody. We miss coming to Zambia. We want to come to Zambia, but we can't. We need to do it virtually. And Arnold, just to bring you in here to just see if there's anything you wanted to add about the Microsoft Cloud donation, or anything that I might have missed about the application.
Yeah, look, so it's quite interesting that Prakash raised the Microsoft Azure, because not many people are aware that with using the Azure credits, they can they can get additional storage. So if you have used, say, your 1 tera on OneDrive, and you have used another 1 tera, say, on SharePoint, you can get additional storage using the Azure credits. So you can get up to 200 terabyte storage using those credits. But just make sure that you always check on a month-to-month basis on the cost implications, because there's a costing for hosting any applications using the Azure credits. So just keep making sure that you don't go over the credit limit, because as soon as you go over the 3.5, you're gonna then start giving to make payment to Microsoft. And lastly, once you claim the credits this year, come next year, you still need to claim the credits again. They don't automatically renew. So whatever you have hosted, please make sure that every year you then go again back to Microsoft Portal, you claim the credits on a yearly basis. If you don't claim the credits, Microsoft will then change you back to prepaid option where because you've entered your banking details, they will debit the money. So to make sure that there are any costs on your side as a nonprofit, do make sure that you renew all your credits annually. And so many nonprofits will ask, okay, what how can I go the validation route and so on. So long as you're a nonprofit working working with communities or whatever, those guidelines are there. But we do the validation. Do submit your application, send us your details. We'll assist you with the application process. If you're not eligible, again, we'll guide you. Look, these are the reasons, but the majority of our nonprofit organizations, absolutely, they will be able to benefit on this generous grant from Microsoft.
Brilliant. So on screen at the moment, and thank you for that, Arnold. On screen at the moment, I'm just going to show you, the different links that are in the chat and that you'll be receiving via email. This is our consultation intake form. So you'll know you're on the right page where you see start your journey to Microsoft Cloud. I've done an explanation as to what's available. And then it's a simple form that you fill out so that we can onboard you onto our workflow system. What we do request at the bottom here is what time of the day would you like to be called? So please tell us 3 o'clock in the morning, which we won't call you then, but you can tell us that, 10 o'clock in the evening. Just tell us exactly what time is suitable. And then as a reminder, please make sure you've checked your telephone number and your email address. And then obviously you would select Zambia as the country. But if you don't, that's okay. Spakamiso will call you, he'll email you, and he'll be able to help you. This question over here, which is, do you have a Microsoft tenant ID? You can say, I'm not sure if you've never done an application. If you do have one, please do let us know what that tenant is. That helps us to know whether you've applied for Microsoft before or how to speed up the consultation process, because maybe somebody else in your organization has done the application. And so to prevent a duplicate, we then can just sort that out. But if you see that question and you don't know what it is, you can just say, I'm not sure. And that's all right. Spakamiso will talk you through it.
Sam, can I add one thing on that? Sorry,
Yeah.
Sam.
Yeah.
So again, so if you might, if as an organization, you are using a commercial license for Microsoft 365 or Office 365, please enter your Microsoft tenant so that we know that you are already on the Microsoft cloud, so that we don't start we don't create a new tenant on the Microsoft portal while you already have an existing tenant. And it's so much easier when you have an existing tenant and you've been approved as a nonprofit. It's just now a matter of making all the changes directly instead of having again to migrate from your current tenant to the new tenant. So please, if you are using any commercial or any Microsoft cloud, please enter your Microsoft tenant so that we don't have two tenants for one organization. Thanks, Sam.
Absolutely. And thank you for that, Arnold, because if you are paying for Microsoft Cloud currently, and this is the first time you've heard about donated options, complete this form. Let us have a free consultation with you, because we might be able to change it so that you go onto the nonprofit offerings and you don't have to pay for your subscription anymore. What we will then need, and for those of you that have never heard the word Microsoft tenant, that's okay. It's not a requirement. But for those of you that might know what we're talking about, it's just to highlight to please put it in this box. We often people put their tenant in. When we upload it, we can then quickly match, okay, this organization does have this set up. Let's put a motivation into Microsoft to get them to not pay for the subscription. Let's put them onto the nonprofit. So it just helps us out, speed up the process for you. But again, if you are not sure about it, you can write in, I'm not sure. If you don't know anything about a Microsoft tenant, that's okay. It doesn't prevent you from completing this form. The other link that you'll get is the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofit landing page. This is what it looks like, and you can browse everything available to your organization as a nonprofit that is eligible. You can click down on the drop-down arrow. For example, there's Azure that we were just talking about, and I just want to admit and quickly in. There's Azure, you've got the full product suite. We are talking about Microsoft 365 this morning. You can also watch videos. You can learn more about the products by taking it for a test drive. You can also learn more about case studies, white papers of other nonprofits using it. And you don't have to apply today if you don't want to, or if you need board approval or any other approval. The nice thing is that when you are ready, you can either request a free consultation with us and we will help you do the application for free, or you can simply just sign into Microsoft here and then start. Depending on which product you select, you can do the application on your side, and it's all free of charge. And then lastly, TechSoup Zambia, because as I said, I made a bit of a typo on the presentation. I will fix it before I send it all to you. But this is TechSoup Zambia. And so if you're on our website, you can click on catalog, or you can click on our drop down for our donor partners, and you can see all the options available to you. You can click on the Microsoft Cloud option, and you can learn more about what is available in Zambia. But if you are needing to still go with on-premise solutions, so for example, your Office Standard, this is where you would purchase it at this discounted rate through our store. And the same people that are on this call are the same people from Pombana that can help you with this as well. So the important thing here is that obviously Microsoft have got this massive cloud donation available for everybody. We are here to help you. We're here to guide you. But if you are not yet ready to go to cloud, if you need to upgrade any of your other software, TechSoup Zambia is the landing point for you. And then, of course, if you need help in installing it or updating it or anything like that, David and his team are available to assist you with that as well. With that, I am going to stop sharing and come back on screen, and I'm going to see if there are any questions. If anybody would like to ask us questions, we've got a couple of minutes. I set the timing a lot longer for in case we did have quite a big Q&A session, but if there are no questions, we can actually wrap up quite early. We will then get the recording to everybody, as well as all the links and the presentation. And then I'm sure, David, it looks like you've got a lot of people to follow up with, which is brilliant. I'm glad you're going to be talking through the digital transformation process. But just a reminder that if you don't hear from us, you can also ask David for copies of the presentations and all those goodies, because he will also receive them from us. So let me just do a quick check. Are there any questions that anybody on our team has seen that I might have missed? Okay, we've spoken about Azure. We've put in the links for the CSP form, and I can't pick up any other questions. With that, I thank you all for joining. We're going to end a lot earlier. Please reach out to David, chat to him, reach out to our support team. Let us know how we can help you. The big thing that I'd like everybody to know is that we don't charge you for consultations, and we don't charge you to go through the application process. We really are here to support you because we are a nonprofit just like yours, and we appreciate your support to us by telling other nonprofits about us or emailing us with suggestions of other events like this. And then most importantly, if you are struggling with anything related to your software, please do come to us and let us help you. We don't charge you for that. Thank you, Frederick, for that. I appreciate that, and we will definitely all be in touch. With that, I wish you all a wonderful week ahead. And Zambian Governance Foundation, to the entire team, thank you so much for your partnership and for joining us this morning. I look forward to future events with you all. And with that, I wish you all well. Take care, and we'll chat to you on email. Bye-bye now.